Happy to announce that we are presenting the fifth straight year without a tax increase, thanks to the leadership and the decision-making ability by the Board of Commissioners here in Hatfield. Also, special thanks Dave Bernhauser in the audience, our finance director. The commissioners and Dave do all the heavy lifting. I just show the fun pictures and talk about stuff. So, as we have done now this is the sixth budget I have presented in Hatfield, which shows how fast time is flying. Same process. We're going to talk about the budget process. What did we do in 18, and what are we planning on doing in Hatfield Township in 19? And I do have, not joking, I do have probably 100 slides, but I'm going to go very quickly. I'm going to move quick. I promise everyone that.
Well, you should, because you want a seventh year.
Do you want to give me a limit? I'll aim for that. 8:30. I'll be done.
Let Larry take over, please.
Kristen has a buzzer next to me, a gong. All right, so here we go, organizational chart. Obviously, we know that the residents in Hatfield Township, like any government entity, are the true decision makers in the community. The residents elect the Board of Commissioners and the tax collector, and then it trickles down from there. The board appoints a manager, the consultants, all the other boards and commissions, and then we have the departments that work under the manager: Public Works, Finance, Public Safety, Parks and Rec, Community Development. All the appointed boards that we have in Hatfield Township, it's important to note all of this, the amount of groups that we have involved in the organization. So we have the Sewer Authority, Civil Service Commission, Parks and Rec Board, Planning Commission, Zoning Hearing Board, a Pool Advisory Board, Shade Tree Commission, Environmental Advisory Committee, the Industrial Development Authority, North Penn Health Hospital and Education Authority, one rep to the North Penn Water Authority, and a vacancy board. So all members of these boards are appointed by the commissioners to my left. When you look in the budget at Hatfield Township, it's abundantly clear that the priorities for the Hatfield Commissioners is to keep Hatfield safe. 60% of this budget goes toward public safety, police, and fire protection. The remaining goes to infrastructure improvement, paving and maintaining roads, stormwater management, and parks and recreation and open space. Some of the success we've had in 2018, obviously Cowpath or Villa, talked about it for years. Finally, we have the funding to fix a dangerous intersection. Over 50 accidents over the last 5 years, 27 injuries. Commissioners are able to fix it in 2019. Special thanks to Vice President Hughes for lining up the demolition work provided by the operating engineers of the Local 542 at no cost to the taxpayers. Training opportunity for those employees of the operating engineers. Also training opportunity for our volunteer fire companies. So the commissioners we made really aggressive moves that we'll talk about here in a little bit, but as we were going through the process, we decided let's make sure we utilize these facilities for all of the services that we provide to get ample training. This is the ladder 17 of the Hatfield. It's not too often that the volunteers get actual homes to train in. So we took full advantage of it. We had 3 homes. We had a fire company there several times. We had SWAT training in the house. House is. So we had SWAT training. Both fire companies and the police department all were able to train in these homes before demolition, before we realign a dangerous intersection. Also, it's important, I wanted to put a picture of the homeowners that lived there for 25 years, because decisions that are made in this room are not made in a vacuum, and what happens in here really affects people's lives. So we really made an effort to build relationships with the folks that lived in these homes, because unfortunately we had to go and talk to them about fixing this intersection, which was going to change their life forever. And thanks to the commissioners, who were fully aware of that situation, decided to make a move last year and purchase all 3 of the homes, because we had 3 homeowners who were stuck. They couldn't invest in their homes. They couldn't sell their homes because we had a very public project being discussed often throughout the years. So the commissioners understood that and put these residents in a much better situation. So we have 2 residents here who raised their kids there and wanted to be involved in the demo and took pictures, and we were able to leave a 3-year process as friends and building great relationships. So a very important part of the process. How are we going to pay for Cowpath or Villa? To design it, we received a grant for $280,000, which was matched with $120 from the 209 fund. So all new development throughout the township helps supply the money for that fund. Acquisition of right-of-way, again, 209 fund, which will be completely reimbursed by the end of 2019. So not a dime of local Hatfield taxpayer will go into this $3.5 million project to fix the intersection. This year, of course, a few weeks ago, we received the great news of just shy of a $2 million grant from PennDOT to do the construction and the inspections. Also, again, we lose sight of this because we've had so much success with grants, but it was only a few years ago we received the $1 million grant, just shy of, to synchronize these 11 signals in the 463 corridor of 40-foot and Cowpath. Without question, our trouble corridor when it comes to congestion. And we are very close to now bidding these projects out, and hopefully the construction will begin, and we should have those signals synchronized in the spring of 2019. Not much more before the intersection of Cowpath and Villa gets realigned. So a lot of really major improvements along that corridor, well over $4 million invested. And PennDOT just turned on the system on 309 from 5 Points up to Unionville about a month ago. Synchronizing all of those signals it had been about 4 years in the making, and since the signals have been synchronized, we used to receive 10 to 15 calls a day asking what is wrong with the signals on 309. The second the system turned on, we have yet to receive one complaint, which is incredible. I did not think that would ever happen, but I'm certainly happy it is. Some other accomplishments in 18, public safety, led by Chief Tierney. The police department, just as of a few weeks ago, attained re-accreditation. So for the second time through the process, which is only the top 10% in the Commonwealth of police departments. The department responded to over 25,000 incidents. We continue our partnership where the police provide public safety to Hatfield Borough in exchange for a fee. And the detectives and Chief Tierney are partnering with all the local businesses to install cameras throughout the town so we can keep the community safe. In addition, community policing initiatives. Got some of Bud's teammates here. I'm sure, have they struck you out at all, Bud? But hopefully not. Officer Hanrahan, building a lot of relationships with some of our senior softball group to use our parks. We have Crayola with a cop. We have our own twist of Coffee with a Cop here in Hatfield, the JAVA, which is the Joint Alliance, Joint Anti-Violence Alliance, which might be the worst acronym as far as rolling off your tongue ever invented.
That one.
That was you, Chief? Yeah. That was you, Chief. Well, that makes a lot of sense now. Not easy. Next year, I'll stick with Java. Community outreach. You have Chief Tierney speaking to a bunch of residents, talking about the opioid crisis and what the police can do to partner and build those relationships to prevent what is happening. Chief Tierney's a leader among all of the departments in the region. We have a neighborhood watch, which 2 of our residents that are here tonight that participate and make a big impact on this group. We have Police Academy, which you have every year. This year we had over 65 children. Officers from the Philadelphia Police Department come out. It's a really good day for the kids. Community Night Out, which we partner with the borough. Detective Steinberg here with Troy, our former intern in Hatfield Township, who has obviously moved on to become a police officer. Just kidding, but he's around and a big partner with Hatfield. Troy's everywhere we go, and we couldn't do these things without him. Law Enforcement Appreciation Event at ShopRite. Not sure who those 2 kids are, but I'm sure they're trouble. They're probably whining somewhere right now. We had the retirement of Corporal Hanrahan. We've hired 2 new officers this year, Officer Marchak and Officer McLaughlin. Police are very involved with Halloween and going out and handing out candy with the kids. We have the Police Santa event that Commissioner Thomas talked about. There's a very grumpy Santa last year. We're going to hopefully cheer him up this year a little bit. 2018 Public Works. Accomplishments. Invested, thanks to the commissioner several years ago, a commitment to paving the roads in Hatfield Township and fixing a lot of the infrastructure. Over $750,000 now annually goes into paving roads and upgrading the accessible ramps. These are the roads that were paved in 18. Here's what it looks like on a map when you look at all the roads paved from 10 through 18, and you can start to see a lot of colors because a lot of roads have been paved in that period of time. Public Works installed nice trail lights in School Road Park, making it safer. In a better park. We installed a dog water fountain at the dog park. It's the little things in life that make people happy, believe me. This is a lot of happy dog owners. New parking lot in Schweiker, which will really alleviate a problem that has been occurring in Moyer and Schwab, and so far the feedback's been great. It gets paved next year if it ever stops raining. Public Works installed a path just a few weeks ago along Richmond and Unionville. We noticed a lot of employees working in the facility behind the Public Works were walking to the bus stop and having nowhere to walk, and it became an unsafe condition, so we put in a trail. Parks and Rec accomplishments in 18, led by our Parks Board, Commissioner Thomas and Ashley. Music Feast, another great series of concerts, and the Real Diamond Band brought in thousands, a lot of people. Crowded park. Well, over 1,200. We had bus trips to New York City. We have yoga classes. We have nature camp. We have exercise for kids. We partner with Cal Sports, aqua exercise, Zumba, Earth Day cleanup, basketball clinic, pickleball, plant exchange, teddy bear picnic, Father's Day basketball clinic, golf lessons, giving tree, summer camp, babysitting classes. The point is, we're busy, we're doing a lot, we're adding a lot of value to this community and hopefully increasing the quality of life. We've done some striping in Chestnut Street to make a safer trail section. We have 2 other sections that will get striped in the next, if it ever stops raining again. That's going to be my line tonight. Ped crossing was put in earlier this year, so when we do finally build the next leg of the Fricks Trail, which will be across that street, it will be a safe intersection for those pedestrians. Oktoberfest, another successful event. Summer camp, 100 kids come here and spend essentially their summer with Hatfield Township employees, and very patient Hatfield Township employees, trust me. That is not an easy job. We launched our new website earlier this year and received a lot of good feedback about the usability, user-friendliness of it. Running series, President Zipfel holding back a storm of children that are about to stampede him. But we have 3 very successful races, a 5K, a 10 and a 5 miler, and a half marathon, which we have hundreds of racers for each. Golf outing, some of the guys from Public Works participated this year. We raised over $10,000 for the Parks and Rec. Commissioner Rogers losing his mind entirely, jumping into a pool of 35-degree weather with our Fire and Ice Winter Festival. Mini Monster Mania, the only time in the history of mankind that people were excited to see the spotted lanternflies. Made their way to the Mini Monster Mania. Dogapalooza, very successful event at the end of our aquatic season. We allow the dogs to come in. We never get one complaint from the users that day. That's by far our best customer base. Finances, 18. Again, 5th straight year, expenses projected to be less than budgeted. Our bond, the township's bond, has been reaffirmed at AA-, which is second to the top, which is essentially as high as Hatfield will be able to get. Increased emergency reserve account, now $600,000. This was a commitment the commissioners made 5 years ago. We've been funding it $100,000 a year. Last year we put in $200,000 because of the position we were in. Increased fund balance. We've lowered healthcare costs due to negotiating contracts with a large portion of our workforce. 2018 Code Department, a department that does not get much attention, does not get much credit, is often considered unsung heroes in a sense. Not a popular department. Most people aren't happy to see the Code Department show up at your door. But what the Code Department does is ensure construction being done per code so that it's safe. They ensure that certain rules are following to ensure a safe community. So over 2,000 building inspections done by one full-time inspector. In 2018, over 2,000 apartment inspections done by one other employee. 232 fire inspections, 28 zoning hearing board applications, 155 property maintenance issues, 144 resale U&O inspections. Really busy department, and it's only going to get busier. But we have a great group in there doing that work. So we're going to now dig into the 2019 budget. Proposing revenues, a little roughly over 14 million. Expenditures roughly the same. Budget by fund. And again, for anybody that's interested in seeing a line item by line item, it will be available in the lobby. It will be available on the website. I'm not going to waste everybody's time by going through each line. We have done that with the commissioners. We have a public workshop last month. We've gone through each line. Now it's time to just sort of highlight the big picture goals of what the township's going to accomplish. So where does the township get its revenue? Primarily real estate tax, then earned income tax, local service tax from the state itself, and Hatfield Borough. And just a reminder to all residents, when you see your millage rate and you compare it to another town, that's not necessarily a perfect comparison, because in Hatfield Township, the commissioners have instituted as aggressive as possible of a homestead exemption, which reduces your assessed value by $70,000, which is the most permitted by law in Hatfield Township. So don't just get caught up on your millage rate. Look at what you're actually paying the municipality. So revenue, which represents what I just said, majority of it is real estate taxes, which is similar to almost every municipality in the state, if not the country. Real estate, then earned income tax. So again, where do your local real estate taxes go? For every dollar that you spend, 9 cents of it comes to Hatfield, 10 to the county, and by far the lion's share goes to the school district. You know, it's no surprise that it costs significantly more to educate our children than it does to provide the services that we do on a local level. Millage breakdown has been the same now for 5 years, no adjustment. Millage comparison, this is all the towns in Montgomery County and where it lies. Given the fact that we have a homestead exemption, our residents pay less than our businesses. We have no additional taxes to our business community like other municipalities do. Businesses in Hatfield only pay real estate taxes, does not pay a business or privilege tax in addition. These are just some examples of your real estate payment. Now, the median assessed value in Hatfield Township is $149,000. So many people in Hatfield Township have assessed value at $140,000. The majority do, meaning they pay the township $365 a year in real estate taxes to receive all the services that we're going to outline here shortly. Earned income tax, half of 1%. The other half goes to the school district. So the expenses in Hatfield Township, so we talked about the money coming in. Now, where does it go? Majority by far, like I said earlier, police, public safety, public works, paving the roads. We have administrative costs, very small debt service by all government standards. So your total tax picture in Hatfield Township, this is based on a married couple with 2 children filing jointly with a median income in Hatfield Township, which is $63,483, and the median assessed value, which I said earlier, which is noted. So your entire total tax picture, 7% of all of the taxes that you then pay comes to Hatfield Township. School district still is the lion's share based on this scenario. Depends on your income level, obviously, when it comes to federal taxes. But this hypothetical couple, which is the average couple in Hatfield Township, based on all the census data, majority of your tax dollars are going to go to the school district, federal government, Pennsylvania, and the county. And a little sliver of the pie comes to us here in Hatfield Township. So for that sliver, that 7% investment of all of your taxes, in return, you receive one of the best police departments you'll find, led by one of the best police chiefs you'll find. Fire protection, Calmer Fire, Hatfield Fire. Public Works Department, 11 employees providing those services to the town, which are snow removal, repairing inlets, base repair, crack sealing, maintaining all of the roads, painting, 19 traffic signals, 4 flashers, school flashers, 4 bridges, dozens of basins, mowing 176 acres every week. We have an award-winning aquatic center, which has been regularly named one of the best public pools in Montgomery County. We have a beautiful school road park, frozen slide. We have Clemens Park, which is great as it is, but in a few years, hopefully it's going to look like this, which is what the master plan outcome has been. We have Schweiker Park, Community Park, Walnut Street Cabin, Tree Nursery, Melody Brook Park, Nature Preserve, Stratford Park, Dog Park, Arboretum, Street Hockey, Open Space, Chestnut Street Trail, Fricks Trail. So 7% of your taxes, what you get in return are all of these amenities and services provided by Hatfield Township. So looking ahead to 19, some of the highlights. Overall expenses projected to be just 4%. Body cameras, a new initiative for the police department. Body cameras will be purchased and utilized in 2019 for the Hatfield Township Police Department. We'll be promoting 2 corporals and a lieutenant. We've, like I said earlier, reduced the healthcare costs of one of our larger workforces here. Improving parks, adding programming, capital upgrades to the aquatic center. We're going to perform a sidewalk study to make sure Hatfield's walkable. We're going to try to find areas within the town that you'll be able to walk to schools, to parks, to other public facilities, and see if we can add sidewalks there to make some connections. We're going to continue to study problem intersections just because we're about to solve a big one, our biggest one. Now it's time to start looking ahead. What are we going to do next? New heating and cooling for the public works and detectives buildings, 2 new vehicles for the police department, new street sweeper for our public works, which is a big deal for especially this time of the year when leaves are blocking inlets. Our sweeper is not working, so we need this new street sweeper. All right, so Cowpath or Villa today with a drone looks like this. Next year, it's going to look a little bit like this. Safer, cleaner intersection. We finally get to remove a traffic signal too, which we've been adding a lot. It's going to be fun to remove one. Fricks Trail will be built. I've said that before, but it will be built this time. And finished. All right, and finished. Oh. So what happens now? Budget gets posted in the lobby per the code requirement on the website. 20 days review time. We'll be back here on December 12th for the board to consider approving this no tax increase budget for 2019. And just finally, we, the employees and the commissioners, are extremely honored to serve and protect and be a part of this community. So, commissioners, thank you for your time and thank you for your support and leadership to get us in this position.